Hello everybody, this is Pietro back with another presentation tip. How are you doing today? One thing in advance, the topic of storytelling is so vast that one could pack hours and hours of videos with it. Online you can find a plethora of articles about storytelling techniques. I will put my focus only on storytelling from the point of view of presenting. So, welcome to tip number 7, don't tell facts, tell stories. First of all, why should we tell stories? Simple. Because stories are way more appealing to us and therefore we can remember them a lot easier than maybe a mere list of facts, for example. It is like that because our brain is made for remembering stories, as human beings have been telling stories basically since they developed the ability to communicate tens of thousands of years ago. Stories trigger emotions. Stories help to visualize stuff, which facilitates remembering. Many brands, for example, use storytelling to create a sort of emotional connection between their customers and their products. Like a famous sports brand, for example, who tells its stories in a way that invites people to become part of something bigger, part of a sort of collective movement by wearing its products. In a similar way, as presenter, you can use storytelling techniques to create a connection between your viewers and your customer, or between your viewers and the event itself, or a product that you're presenting, or a person that you're introducing, and so on. Let me give you some examples. Let's say that you're hosting an event for an important company anniversary. In this case, you should create a connection between this company and the audience. And a good moment to do that is, for example, the opening. For years and years, P-Tech was a solid company writing black figures thanks to its reliable products. But then came 2010. The world was changing rapidly, and so did our market. Far-reaching decisions had to be taken. Unfortunately, too many of these decisions were not crowned with success. A seemingly unstoppable downward spiral began. And soon thereafter, P-Tech was facing the abyss. Only 2 scenarios were left: file for bankruptcy or change everything radically. Well, P-Tech did not file for bankruptcy. P-Tech did not give up. P-Tech decided to fight. The women and men behind P-Tech decided to fight and to embrace change by redesigning almost every department and every internal process. Soon, the first positive signs were measurable. P-Tech started growing again, which motivated its workers even more to walk that famous extra mile to tackle and surpass its competition. Eventually, P-Tech climbed the top, becoming the market leader we all know and we all appreciate today. And you, ladies and gentlemen, you are those workers who P-Tech owes this success. And therefore, P-Tech wants to show its gratitude by dedicating its 20th anniversary to you. For this example, I applied the frequently used hero's journey storytelling technique. A protagonist has got to leave his familiar environment to embark on a journey into unknown territories where he has to defeat a seemingly invincible enemy before returning home as a hero. Now imagine if instead telling the story, I had just listed numbers like sales, expenses, calculations, balance sheets and stuff like that. Boring, and surely forgot within minutes. In any case, it's almost always a good idea to start your presentations by telling a little story. Now let's talk about creating a connection between your viewers and a person you are about to announce or invite on stage. If possible, talk to this person beforehand, trying to gather some interesting details that you could use. 2 examples. Ladies and gentlemen, after graduating at Columbia University in 1993, my next guest worked as an assistant in London. In 1998, she enrolled in Harvard Law School, and after graduating, she became a civil rights attorney and an academic, teaching constitutional law at the University of Amsterdam until 2002. After her time in Amsterdam, she joined PTech, becoming a member of the board of directors, and in 2011, she was elected chairwoman of the PTech board of directors. So please welcome Mrs. Mary Jones. Now check out the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, my next guest is a real multi-talent. Besides being member of the board of directors of PTech since 2002, she is a passionate cook. Her favorite cuisine is Italian, and I was told that her lasagna is legendary. The most thrilling moment in her life was a bungee jump in South Africa, and the most beautiful moment in her life was the birth of her 2 children. She would never admit being a sports canon, but you can find her almost every other day in the gym. And about PTech, she says she's so proud of being its chairwoman. So please join me in welcoming Mrs. Mary Jones. Now you tell me which introduction was more personable, more captivating, more engaging, more memorable. In the last part of this tip, I will show you how to use storytelling to create a connection between your viewers and a product or a service or maybe a machine that you are presenting. Ladies and gentlemen, a couple of years ago, one of our main customers came to us with a request. Their goal was to anticipate current market developments. And so they wanted to pack the candies they produce into a new and eco-friendly cardboard packaging. Of course, we have accepted the challenge, and after almost 1 year of designing, developing and testing, we came up with the brand new PTech 3000. The main purpose of the new PTech 3000? Simple. It's turning these and this into this. And now I'm gonna show you how it does that, so please follow me. Dear viewers, there would be tons of examples on how to work with storytelling, but as I like to keep my video tips short and sweet, I will put some interesting links in the description. But what about you? Do you already work with storytelling? Which is your favorite technique? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, I hope I have given you some useful ideas about spicing up your presentations with some storytelling. If I did, then please like and share this video with others. And should you prefer to hire a professional presenter? Well then, here is what I have to offer. We will address today's topics in a lot. Tendenze beschleunigen Entwicklungsprozesse. Vi ricordo i nostri hashtag per i vostri contributi, typologia completamente nuova et révolutionnaire. Cette année, nous avons un événement hybride. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.